Hi, welcome to my channel, Takya Gitero. Today is Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone. Okay, so yesterday I was getting the one scene in the movie from Harry Potter. Well, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire to be exact. And, all right, cool. Okay, so let me say this part first. I feel like this had to have been. I'm not gonna knock it, right? But this had to have been someone who was like in a really good position of power. All right, spiritually, physically. This could even have been someone who thought they had some sort of mental, I don't know, like just something that I don't know if this is someone who's like just naturally, like, not naturally, but like if this is just someone like that they were in this position, or you unknowingly was giving this person this kind of power over you, or they just, over the years, over the times, right? They had, this could have been someone who had like some sort of power over your mind, your emotions, your mental. All right, I'm not really getting finances because I feel like with the mental, everything just kind of goes with it. But that's neither here nor there. This is someone who was definitely in some sort of position of power. Okay, I don't know if this is with you particular or just in general, right? So I'm not gonna knock it. They had this power. All right. They were like feared or respected or whatever the case it is. Something happened, okay, with you, the collective. Something happened and they no longer, as of right now, have that power. All right, this is not the point of what I'm getting at. I'm just giving you background. This is all background. All right, they no longer are in the same position of power that they once were, either in general or with you or both. Okay, that's the background. I'm saying this because what I'm about to say next is important. It ties to that. So I was getting the one scene yesterday. I was getting the one scene with the one scene in Harry Potter. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, but which is the tournament movie, right? The one where they have the tournament. And the one scene that I was getting was the scene where they were all in the graveyard. Voldemort, even Harry, he was hidden, but they were all in the graveyard. Voldemort was in the graveyard with his Death Eaters, his followers, all right? His followers. Now, mind you, at the height of his power, he had amassed a following that was terrifying, all right? He made a name for himself when he was at the height of his power, and then he fell. Right? So he no longer has that power. Now, this is someone who's trying to regain some sort of control, some sort of power that they once had. It's not working so well. That's not the point of this either. I'm just giving you more background. In the scene, okay, in that scene when Voldemort he's like in the middle, and all of his remaining Death Eaters are around him, right? And he's accosting them. He's kind of pissed off because he's like, I've been sending out whispers, I've been sending out this, and where have you guys been? Right? And he's kind of upset because he's disappointed, and he's accosting them and like scolding them because he's realizing that they're not really following him anymore. Right? And as he's ripping off his mask that's revealing their true identities. Right? Like, if you don't want to follow me, if you're not following me, I'm going to rip off your mask. I might as well rip off your mask. You don't need to have this disguise. And as he's doing that, Harry, who's hiding, he's actually seeing, like, and not only can he see the faces, but Voldemort is yelling out the names. Crabbe, McNair, right? He's yelling out the names as he's ripping off the mask because he's mad, because he's, like, realizing that his followers, he doesn't have the same amount of followers. He doesn't have people following him anymore. All right? I mean, obviously he does end up gaining a big following as well, but it's not it was never as big, okay, as it was before at his first time of reigning. And on top of that, he ended up getting defeated. All right. So I feel like someone's realizing that the people that were following them, supporting them, right, they're realizing that they're really not following them. They're really not supporting them. All right. So I was getting that yesterday. There's also, because the thing is too, one of the ways that Voldemort got his following was through fear. All right, was through fear. But Harry Potter gives the people hope, right? They didn't have that before. They didn't have that sense of hope, that sense of, oh yeah, we can definitely overcome this. We can definitely defeat this. This is not the end for us, right? Granted, some of them did die in battle, but that's neither here nor there. But they didn't have that hope before, okay? So there's someone in some sort of position of power that's losing their followings, losing what they hold on to keep people tied to them, which is fear, right? People are no longer as afraid. People now have more hope than ever before. Whoever this individual is, they're just not as, like, I don't know, like, people aren't really listening or following them. This could be somebody in your job, somebody in your family, where everyone's like, oh, we don't want to disappoint so-and-so, right? This could be someone in your community. This could be a public figure. All right? Whatever this is, this could even be like the leader of a cult, all right? I was watching this one cult documentary, like, months ago, I think in the summertime, and it was this cult, and I think in Korea back in like the early 90s or 80s, I think it was, maybe. And it was about this old, well, now she is, but it was about this woman, and she had like this weird cult going on, and people were like afraid of like disappointing her and shit like that. It eventually got dismantled and all that stuff. The majority of it was for money and all that. But anyways, it's always about money, right? But the point is, whoever this individual is, they're still trying to get some sort of control, some sort of following, some sort of handle on a situation. But it's not, and they're going to try. Let them. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to be as it once was before. And this time, for sure, absolutely, they will be put down. Because in the movie, right, yeah, he still got his following. Voldemort was still able to get a good following, and creatures and giants and blah, 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 blah. But he died. He died. Because the trick was his Horcruxes. Spoiler, that was his loophole, right? So that was his loophole, but that was figured out. And he knew, because he knew. That's why he started rushing things. He knew because he could feel it whenever a Horcrux got destroyed, because it's part of his soul. He knew he could feel it. And so he started rushing, and then, alright? So yeah. So that's that. I was also hearing one of the song lyrics, like, I don't know, maybe like 30 minutes ago. It's just the one line, but the song is called Heatwave by Milky Chance, I think it's called. And it was just a song, the line that was repeating over and over in my mind. And it was like, you deserve a better life than this. You deserve a better life than this. You deserve a better life than this. Let me look up the lyrics of that song, actually. Hold on. Okay, I got it. Which is interesting because during his second, I don't want to call it his reign, because, you know, but he definitely felt like he was ruling something. But during his second attempt, I'll say that, second attempt, right? Honestly, that man just had a lot of mom issues. Voldemort, yeah, he just had a lot of mom issues. He did too much for all that. Anyways, whatever, it doesn't matter. So yeah, which is interesting because during his second reign, people was like, we can do this, we can fight back, we have hope, we have this, we have that, right? People realize that that's not the end, right? So something is giving people hope. All right. You collective could be that light and placed in these dark spots, right? That's giving these people hope, which is why they're not as afraid anymore, right? And through fear, right, that control is very easy, right? You can be controlled through fear very easily, right? People were once able to be controlled through fear, right? So, but what is it really to be afraid of now? Anyways, so the line says, you just need a better life than this. You just need something I can never give. Fake water all across the road. It's gone now. The night has come. So, I just kept hearing that over and over. You just need a better life than this. You just need... The song is called Heat Waves by Glass Animals. What did I say? Milky Chance? By Glass Animals. So it's a really good song, too. So, yeah, because you guys know, collective, that this is not the way. Living through fear, living through oppression, living through darkness, it's not... like all darkness all the time, 24/7, right? And darkness is necessary. People don't want to hear that. 11:11 I've seen. People don't want to hear that. Darkness is necessary. Negativity has its place. Evil has its place, right? Anger has its place. Sadness has... all those things are unnecessary. They are, absolutely. You cannot eradicate them entirely. That's not ever going to be a thing. It's never going to be a thing. All right? But... it's not normal to live in darkness 24/7, right? 365. It's not normal. That's not, right? Living in fear, living in chaos, living in darkness, living in anxiety, depression, sadness. That's not normal, right? And I feel like collective, you're helping these people find the light within them and the hope within them and the faith within them. And it's allowing them to be a lot less afraid. And the more that this is a thing with you, and the non-collective, the harder it is for this person or this thing to put fear in people's hearts, right? Honestly, realistically, the only thing that you should ever really, 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 truly have fear in your heart for is the Most High God, right? And I know that sounds crazy, but really, you shouldn't be afraid of no devils. You should be afraid of God. Right? Just as you love the Most High God, you should be afraid of the Most High God. Right? It's kind of like you love your parent, but you also don't want to disappoint your parent. Like, oh my gosh, what if they find out? Right? But the crazy thing is, God already knows. Right? So now you just got to be like, oh my God, what's God going to do? That's between you and God. You'll find out. But that's irrelevant, right? But I do feel like there's like a person, an entity, or something that is like losing in general. Losing power, losing resources, losing their fear tactics, losing their manipulations, losing their ability to put fear in your hearts. It's just not... losing followers. I missed that one, right? It's just not working. If they're trying, absolutely, right? But they're not. It's not going to work out this time. It's not going to work out this time because what the people didn't have before, they have now. Hope. Right? And the world has changed. The world is not as it once was. Right? That's the beauty of it. That's why change is inevitable. And people that be trying to stop change. Anyway, so that's that. Right? All that is that. I guess I'm gonna start with tarot. I'll get like 2 to 3 in tarot, and then I move on to that, and I'll just keep switching it. I didn't see it. We got the 6 of Cups, 7 of Wands, and the Fence. With the 6 of Cups upright. What do we have on the bottom of the deck? The Sun. I feel like you collective, you could have children, all right? Or this is just about the inner child within you, all right? The happiness within you. I feel like you're protecting this. This is something you're protected, you're protecting. This could even be you, right? God is seeing you as their little baby. They want to protect you, want to make sure you stay happy, right? If you don't have children, this is just you making sure that your inner child is not being neglected, that you're paying attention to all the parts of you, right? When you're happy, you address that. When you're sad, you address that, right? When something is sparking your inner child, you address that, right? I feel like this is you and the energy. The energy is the same, right? I don't know if this is the Most High God doing this for you doing this for your child or children, or are you doing this for yourself? The energy remains the same. It's basically you're protecting something that is precious to you and that brings you joy and happiness. That's not changing. That you're standing. So what? Right? You're defending that. You're protecting that. You're standing up for that. Whatever that's bringing you happiness, whatever that's bringing you joy, you're protecting that. This is something that is bringing you emotional fulfillment. Now, if this is the Most High God doing this, protecting you, they're protecting something that's bringing you emotional fulfillment, something that's really making you happy, right? They're protecting your happiness, your peace, your joy, you being able to be who you are, you being able to just do the things that make you happy, right? That's that inner child within you. That's why usually in the Sun card, there's a little child being free, right? That could also represent your inner child, right? You allowing your inner child to be free and just, you know, when you're constantly oppressed and operating out of fear and anxiety and depression and hatred and anger, that inner child within you is hiding. You're surviving, okay? You can't live life. Look at children. Children are so precious. I just want to, like, they're just so precious, you know? Children, 9 out of 10 times, they're just happy because they just woke up. And immediately, they're like happy, bouncy, energetic little things, right? So whatever, I feel like for you, collective, whatever energy that is for you, whether it's your inner child or it could be your inner child and your children if you have both, right? Like everyone has an inner child, but if you have, well, not everybody, but whatever, anyways. It could be you're doing this for your inner child and your children, or the Most High God is doing this for you, your inner child, and your children. I've been seeing a lot of 333s and 444s a lot lately, right? So you're supported and protected. Supported and protected. That's not going away. That's solidified. That's staying put. All right? That's not changing. All right? The things that make you happy is being protected. It's like you will go to the ends of the earth and back, and the ends of the earth, the back, and the ends of the earth, the back, just to make sure that this is protected, right? For some of you, this could be your children or your child. Or, you know, this could just be your inner child or the Most High God. I feel like it all applies. It's all the same thing. It's the same thing. Your inner child, your happiness, your joy, it's being protected. Because this is something that's bringing you, like, emotional fulfillment. There's also something about flowers as well. Someone wants to give you flowers, or you're being given flowers, right? I'm missing something else with the Six of Cups. I feel it. So, hold on. All right, I'm back. The Six of Cups, right? So, I was gonna say, she's fine, by the way. She just got, like, her foot stuck in the chair. It's fine. So, with the Six of Cups, I'm getting there could be this person could have been someone, for a lot of you, this could have been someone in your family, right? That all of a sudden they lost control and now they're trying to regain their era of fear, right? Trying to bring it back, trying to bring back their control, their power, their ability to oppress you, their ability to control you, their ability to, you know, put fear in your heart, so that way you keep yourself small, you keep yourself oppressed, you keep yourself faithless and hopeless, and why even bother? Life sucks. Why even bother? Why bother? Right? Keep you in that energy. But unfortunately, with the sun here, that's not happening. Right? That's not happening. What is it that you are, gonna be in that energy for? And God's making sure that you stay in that sun energy. Like, what is it that the collective has to be sad and oppressed and afraid and worried and anxious about? Right? What? So, so I feel like for a lot of you, this could be someone in your family that is trying to like regain some sort of control, regain some sort of power to be able to do this, but it's not going to work because you have hope, you have happiness, you have joy, you have peace, you have warmth, right? You have it. So it's not, this time is different. That's what I'm getting. I don't know why, but I'm getting like this time is different. Wait, hold on. Sorry, my phone is going off. Careful. Ooh. Oh, okay. Fake water all across the road. I feel like this is someone who fakes their emotions, or there's something going on with, there's something heavily about emotions and feelings here, right? And I feel like this individual, I feel like there's something going on with their emotions. Like, it's not, what is that? Trepid waters? Let me look that up. Trepid waters. Trepid water refers to water that is moderately warm, neither hot nor cold. And that typically defined as being between 60 degrees and 100 degrees, 16 Celsius, especially for industrial safety showers and eye wash stations. I remember eye wash stations. To prevent burns or hypothermia while allowing for effective flushing of contaminants. While it can also mean slightly warm for general use or pets, its most critical application is in workplace safety to meet regulations like blah, 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 ensuring workers can comfortably use emergency equipment for the required 15 minutes. Huh, interesting. So, if I'm not mistaken, the eye wash stations, I remember in school, they had like the eye wash stations in the science room, well, my hair, and it was like if you got like, in science class, if you got like chemicals in your eyes or something, you'd go to the eye wash stations and it would wash, it's like lukewarm water, and it would just like wash out the chemicals in your eyes. Alright? So that's, my nose is like stuffy. Water that is slightly warm or lukewarm, comfortable to the touch, and generally falls within a specific temperature range, blah, 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 blah. It's warm enough to be soothing, but cool enough to prevent burns or shock, encouraging extended use in applications like emergency showers, blah, 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 blah. Interesting. So you could be like in the middle of something. You're like in the middle of something. In the middle of, you could be like very balanced. You have the ability to understand and utilize the energies of both good and light, right? I was just saying not too long ago in this reading how even darkness is necessary. Anger, sadness, grief, evil, all those things are so very necessary, right? Like a necessary evil, all right? And I feel like you have a good balance of those things. You have a good understanding of those things. There's something with this person's emotional state. They have, the thing is with Voldemort, right? He was a very troubled young man. Okay, so whether this is a karmic feminine or masculine, whoever this individual is, they are very troubled. They have a lot of things within them. All right, they have a lot of things within them. There's something about their emotions. Fake water all across the road. This could also be a person at a distance from you as well. whether this is a physical distance or at an emotional distance. I feel like for a lot of you, this could be at an emotional distance because you know, like, there's something fake about their emotions towards you. So a lot of you could have this person at an emotional distance, right? Because you know it's fake water. Their emotions, when it's fake towards you. You know they don't mean you any harm. They just want to oppress you. They just want to, you know, have some sort of control over you, right? You know, if someone wants to control you at this level, that's not love. That's not real love. That's not real, genuine caring. That's not real, genuine, like, those are emotions and feelings, but that's not love or light. That's not, you just want to control me. You want to be my handler. You just want to have a handle on me. You don't care about my well-being or what I want to do, how I want to spread my wings, how far I want to go. You don't care about that. This person doesn't care about that. They don't have real love emotions for you. Whether this is your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your aunt. That's not, their emotions towards you, the loving emotions towards you are fake. They just want to control over you. They just want to have that control over you. All right? And like I said, in the beginning of this reading, this person was definitely able to have that control over you. Something happened. I don't know what happened. Right? Something happened. Right? Like in the movie, when Voldemort tried to kill Harry Potter, he did the whole, you know, killing curse. But it rebounded because Harry was protected. How was Harry protected? Because he was protected by the most powerful, pure form of magic ever. Ancient magic. Love. He was covered in love by his mom. Covered in love. Right? Covered. And because of that, so I think I know what happened. I think that was when God must have stepped in or something, right? Let's just say that, all right? So Voldemort tried to kill Harry because Harry was covered in love. The curse rebounded, right? Which putting an end to Voldemort's reign of terror for like however many years, all right? And then when Voldemort felt like I got this again, right? He came back, blah, 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 everything happened, and you can't... It's love. You can't, you know, it's love. You can't, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like this person, they don't love you. They don't have love in their hearts, right? Obviously it shows because they're doing all of this stuff. I do think this is someone in your family with that Six of Cups, or someone you had some sort of like emotional tie that you may have like seen them as family or felt that, you know, brother from another mother, sister from another mister kind of energy. Like some sort of emotional tie where it just felt like you had a close bond with them. All right. I'm also getting third house energy, which is like early childhood learning, siblings. So this is someone that you could have grew up with, or this could be a sibling of yours, or you just knew this person since you were a child. All right. But I don't know, whatever this person's trying to do, not only are they not being supported as they once were, okay, but this is not going to end well for them. All right, because God's not going to let this happen. God's like, I'm literally covering my child and my love. What do you think you're going to do? What do you think you're going to do with that wand? Right? So you, your children, your inner child, all protected. And in the eyes of the Most High God, I gotta be careful with that. In the eyes of the Most High God, you're all God's children. So, alright. Pretty good. Fake water all across the road. Yeah, this is someone who you're keeping at a distance because you know their emotions towards you are fake, false, and phony. It's just not. It's not giving what they think it's giving, right? I feel like this person's like, oh yeah, I can make them think that. I can make them feel that. No, you can't. No, you can't. I know for a fact you don't like the collective. I know for a fact you don't love the collective. I know for a fact you just want control over them. All right? But just because you can't control the collective does not make the collective your enemy. But because they can't control you, in their mind, you are the enemy. So just let it be. All right? Let it be. Because they're going to end up doing a whole bunch of hoopla, hoot and hollering, blah, 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 blah. Just because they can't control you, because that right there puts fear in their mind and their hearts and their soul. You are not to be controlled, right? If anything, you're to be experienced and witnessed. Individuality in reverse. Forbidden, upright. Wow. I feel like this person, they're trying to like, they don't like that you are who you are. You are your own individual. You are, you go to the beat of your own drum, essentially, right? You do what you want to do. You go where you want to go. You talk to who you want to talk to. You dress how you want to dress. You live how you want to live, right? And these are things that truly make you happy, especially when you're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself, right? These are things that are, it's just things that make you happy, right? Things, and it's crazy too, because when you really think about it, and this kind of ties into yesterday's reading, right? When you really follow your heart, right, you'll start to realize how many people don't follow their hearts because of they're afraid of when you follow your heart and your hobbies and, you know, the person that you actually want to be with and the life that you want to live, and, you know, you want to live off grid, but everyone around you, you know, 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. So you become a 9 to 5 and then you're miserable and you hate it and you're not following your heart, right? You're just another copy paste, right? A lot of the times when you follow your heart, it takes courage because it will most likely lead you down a different path in life, right? And a lot of people are afraid of that because, you know, a lot of people rely on fitting in, having community, connection, right? Even if that connection in that community is toxic and poisonous for your soul. So I feel like whatever you're doing to make your heart happy is setting you apart. It's actually making you become more individualized and unique. Okay? And this person hates that. They hate that. They hate that they can't control that. Right? Because for them, they feel like individuality is like, I don't know why I'm getting it. It's like this, but they feel like individuality is like a sin. Right? I don't know why. I feel like this person has like a fear of being seen for who they really are. This is a coward. Whoever this person is, they're a coward. They're so terrified of being who they want to be that they've made it like a sin for themselves. Like they don't allow themselves to follow their heart. They don't allow themselves to be free. They don't allow themselves to do what they want to do. They feel like it's a sin. They feel like it's not. No, we got to be the same like everybody else. We got to be copy paste. We got to be 9 to 5, 9 to 5. We got to do this. We got to have that. We got to have this. We got to have that. We got to say this. We got to look the part. We got to dress the part. And you don't. You're like, okay, that's cool. You want to just think ahead. I'm not. Right? And they feel like, I don't know why. But this individual, they took it upon themselves to be like, oh, that's got to change. This individual, they took it upon themselves to feel like they have to control your individuality and make you the same. And because they can't do that, they feel very threatened. And people around this individual are realizing maybe we shouldn't be doing that. We've seen what happens when we try to do that, right? We don't want any parts of that. And it's really bothering this person because they don't have the same amount of followers. People aren't listening to them as much. This is someone who's like made it like, I don't know, like a crime to follow your heart, a crime to be individual, a crime to stand out. Stand out? No, I want to... This person feels comfort in being with the crowd. They find comfort in, you know, not standing out, because when you stand out, you're being seen, right? When you stand out, you're being noticed. When you're standing out, it's just naked, right? And this is someone that can't stand in their truth. Right? They'd rather be naked hiding in a crowd, right, than standing by themselves. They find it's they've done this to themselves. They've done this to themselves. And I feel like this is someone that has been doing this to other people in the family, in the neighborhood, at the job, in the world, right? Individuality is a crime. Don't do it. Let's all be the same. Let's all be the same and think the same and look the same and talk the same and eat the same and dress the same. We're all going to be the same, right? Because it's safer for this individual. It's like, I don't know, it's like a safety net for them, right? I don't know what that is. I'm going to get back to that. But not you. You're like, I'm happy over here by myself. I'm happy. I'm good. And that bothers them because you don't want to be part of their cult, their clique, their group, their nation, their empire. You don't want to be part of that. And there's nothing they can do about that. They're going to try. Absolutely, they're going to try for sure. They are going to try to convert you or demonize your individualism, or we got cycles. This person's doing something over and over and over and over and over again. Basically trying to get you to not stand out, not be unique, not be in your shine. And there's nothing they can do about that because God is making sure that because there's a purpose to that. There's a purpose to that. You being in this energy is giving people hope that there's nothing wrong with following your heart. If you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, and you're not disappointing the Most High God, there's nothing wrong with that. This person operates out of fear. And because they operate out of fear, they spread that fear and make people oppressed with that fear. Don't do this, you can't do this, don't do that, you can't do that. And people don't want to be like that anymore. I've said this multiple times already in many of my readings. People they're not inspired by fear and anxiety and depression. They don't want to live like that anymore. People don't want to live like that anymore. Not this new generation. They don't want to live like that anymore. They want to be inspired. They want to be happy. They want to be free. Right? In the Sun card, not in this deck, but in the usual Rider-Waite deck, the original deck, like I said, there's like a child running on a horse, naked, running through the fields. The sun is shining. They're happy. They're having a grand old time. They're free. All right? People don't want to be oppressed anymore. People want to be free. People want to be free to follow their heart and do what makes them happy, right? If you want to go to the lake and skip rocks, you should be free to do that. Is that what makes you happy to do on Sunday mornings? Go do that. But this energy is like, oh, well, you shouldn't do that because, well, I think you should do this instead. And if you think that, you do it. I don't want to do that. You do that. If you feel so strongly about it, you do it. And get out my way, because I'm going to do what I want to do. Get out my way. And if you don't get out my way, I'm going to run you over, because you're in my way. Understanding came out upright. You understand exactly what's going on, who's who, what's what. Fulfillment on the bottom of the deck, upright. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. You're emotionally satisfied. You're happy. You understand what's going on. You understand the situation at hand. You understand the mechanisms of it all. All right? Not everything, right? But you understand enough to understand that you have to keep your guard up. You have to defend your happiness. You have to defend yourself, your inner child, your children. I feel like the Most High God is aware already, right? The Most High God is there. The Most High God is aware of the situation at hand, and God is protecting the things that make you happy. Like, you're fulfilled. Look at that. Fulfillment. Right? Why would I operate in fear if following my heart and being happy, having hope, having faith is the very thing that is keeping my heart full? Why would I listen to you? I don't understand your logic in that. Right? Where's the logic in that? Why would you listen to someone who their teachings, their following, their guidance, their wisdom will take all of this away? The very thing that a lot of the people search for. Why? Right? That's like you did all that work to get to this point, and then you're gonna listen to this person over here oh, you're right, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't be happy. Right? What? Think. Logics. Right? It doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? Because you're not doing that. Nobody wants to live like that anymore. Right? Maybe at one point in time, in history or in your life, right, it was necessary to live in that like energy, like to hide or to survive, or you know, you needed the support of the community, right, until you get back on your feet. And now that you're where you can now be on your own and be independent, right, like if you're an example, like if you're living in a shelter, you can't be blasting music at 8 o'clock in the morning and cleaning and cooking. You can't be doing that. You're in a shelter, right? But it's like someone wants you to be in that energy of like huddled and surviving and living in a shelter, and it's like you can't be on your own. You can't live on your own. You can't like be independent. Like it's like you need them. I mean, you don't. How are you going to try to control someone else's happiness? That's what I don't understand. If you are choosing not to be happy, that is perfectly fine. That is your prerogative. You can do that. That's your choice. But you can't get upset. I mean, you can, because that's also a choice. That's your feelings. Those are valid, right? But to justify the feelings that you are having because someone else is choosing their own happiness and independence does not give you the right to act out and try to attack them. Excuse me, I'm burping. That's not justified. Your feelings are valid, of course. Yes, blah, 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 blah. But how you act upon those feelings and emotions really tells your character. And this is inexcusable and is unjustified. And that's why your protection is not going away anytime soon. The Magician upright. My hands are so itchy, man. The Magician is upright. Your magic is on point. And you're utilizing your magic to the fullest extent. Ooh, of the law is what I'm hearing. Alright? And I feel like the reason why you're allowed this magic is because you know how to... You're responsible with it, right? With great power comes great responsibility. Like I said, if you're not hurting anybody, you're not hurting yourself, you're not being immoral to the Most High God, why shouldn't you be in this energy? Why shouldn't you be happy? Why shouldn't you have fulfillment, emotional fulfillment? Why shouldn't you have the wisdom to understand why? Right? Why can't you? There's nothing wrong with that. You're being responsible with this, right? Yes? Okay, so that's it. That's all. That's it. Right? The moon. That's funny. We got the sun and the moon. So you're how you operate, the things that you know, your happiness, the things, the wisdom that you've acquired, it's a secret. It's not. This person hates that they can't control what you know, how you know it, your happiness, your independence, your protection, your wisdom, the things that make you happy, the things that make you full, your freedom. They hate that they can't tap into it, they can't control it, they can't do anything about it. And God's basically like, that's not your business. Mind your business. And that's telling you right there. Fake water all across the road, that's telling you right there. That's why this person is being kept at a distance. Right? Spirit is telling you, you need to keep this person at a distance because this person, they just want to know what you know. They just want to be in your business. They don't care about you. They just want to be in your business to control you. They just want to know what you know to control you. They don't care about you. They don't like you. They don't love you. They just want to control you. Because your freedom threatens them. Because this is a whole negative Nancy, a Baron Bob. They just copy paste. Your individuality threatens their safety of being the same, not unique, not ordinary. It threatens that, right? If you find safety in being copy paste, that's your prerogative, right? Go ahead. Be a hidden nobody in the crowd. No one's stopping you. No one's stopping you from being a nobody. You want to be a nobody so bad? Go ahead. You want to be the same as everybody else so bad? Go ahead. But I tell you one thing, the collective does not care. The collective is not going to be like, oh, you should be unique. You should be ordinary. You should be individual. But this person's like, you should be the same. You should be hidden. You should be copy-paste. You see? The collective doesn't care about this person or these people. They don't care. The collective's too busy being happy and minding their business. But these people, this person, they want to mind your business so bad. But they can't. Because it's not their business. Right? They want to know what's making you happy. What's got you so fulfilled in life. Don't worry about it. Worry about why you are the way you are instead. Right? Figure that out. People want to mind the business that does not pay them so bad, and then they get mad when they can't find out why. So stupid. How unbelievable. It's a wabbit season. I feel like, yeah, this person, if this person's like really trying to like be all up in your energy. Oof. We got the King of Pentacles upright. This could be a masculine that feels that they cannot control you. That your individuality threatens them. Threatens some sort of dynamic, some sort of regime, some sort of cult, some sort of... It just threatens it. This King of Pentacles could be a Virgo towards Capricorn, masculine. The thing about earth signs is that they do... So, not all earth signs, right? But I feel like in this particular King of Pentacles, this King of Pentacles thrives on a specific way of order, a specific way of obey, a specific way of... It's just easier for them to control, right? If they can understand it, they can control it, right? If it's the same, they can control it, right? It's like order in the court kind of energy, right? Right? They say one thing, they say jump, everyone jumps. But you say, where am I jumping? How high am I jumping? Where is this end gonna lead? If I jump, what's gonna happen? What's on the end of that? Right? And that threatens them, right? They rely on people feeding off of each other, being the same, like that beehive mindset. They rely on that. That's easy for them to control, right? It helps. It's something about that helps their stability, their grounding, their money even, right? But you being unique and different, that's threatening, right? Some sort of foundation that they thought they really had laid, all right? And it's not like you're threatening the foundation. It's just that they're threatened by the realization that they can't control you. They think that their inability to control you is going to threaten their foundation somehow, some way, just because they can't control you. And that's where they're messing up on that. They're messing up on that, right? Because you're not to be controlled, but because they feel like they can't control you, you're the enemy. They got to be cautious. And they're gonna drive themselves insane, right? One thing I noticed about earth signs, aside from air signs, the next in the line to go insane, right, to lose sense of sanity is earth signs. Aside from air signs, right? But earth signs can really lose their marbles, right? When something is not able for them to be organized or controlled or manipulated, right? So you can't be controlled, you can't be manipulated. And that right there is threatening whatever beehive mentality, cult, group, organization that they've set in place. They can't. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, this is someone who, I don't know, something about like this, their sense of financial security, their foundation, they feel like something is being threatened, right? With that Virgo energy, they're trying to figure out, they're trying to figure out a way to like manipulate or control you, right? To also be in that beehive mentality, just so it's easier for them to like breathe, easier for them to, I don't know, it would just, to them, it would just be easier for them if they could just manipulate and control you. But they're trying to figure out a way how to manipulate and control you. And they're never going to find that out because that's not for them to do. That's not 49. That's not for them to do. Okay? And they're stressing out and it's bothering them. Right? And the thing with earth signs, right? I feel like earth signs are more prone to wanting to control, possess, and have things. All right? People really give Scorpios a bad rep for that energy, but that's a whole different energy. But I do think that earth signs have they tend to have a need to control, possess, have things, understand things, right? And when they can't have control or possess something, right, or manipulate it, it really messes with their mental, right? Downright to the point where they become psychotic, insane, a little irrational, erratic, right? But that's their own doing. Because nobody's telling you to do this. Nobody's telling you to try to control and manipulate the collective. Nobody's telling you to do that. You're doing that. You're choosing to do that. Therefore, you're bringing yourself to madness. That's what that is. This person is bringing themselves to madness because they're trying to figure out something so bad. Who told you to do that? Mind your business. Right? Just because you cannot control and manipulate the collective does not make them your enemy. You're making them the enemy. Not only that, but you're turning your mind against yourself. Right? Mind your business. Just leave things as it is. All right? But as of right now, it seems like they can't do that. And the thing is, I'm warning this King of Pentacles. They could be a Virgo, Taurus, or a Capricorn. It doesn't have to be. It could just be you being in this energy threatens what they have. They feel like it threatens what they have. They can't understand it. And it's going to somehow affect their reputation. Right? They don't understand it. That's just how they feel. Right? I'm warning this King of Pentacles to stop. Because if they keep doing this, it's not going to end well for them. Alright? It's not going to end well for them. The best thing for them to do is just embrace and leave it alone. Right? Why are you trying to so badly? Right? If anything, you should find this as a blessing. Right? If anything, you should be happy that this even exists. Right? But they don't understand it, right? With that analyzing energy, that Virgo, they don't understand it. The more that they try to do this, the more it's going to affect their health in more than one ways. Okay? That's just my 2 cents. All right? This King of Pentacles they can do what they want to do, all right? They're a grown adult. They can do what they want to do, but I'm just giving my advice. There was a warning in this message to stop. All right? Because the happiness and the individuality, the fulfillment of the collective, the business of the collective is protected. Okay? You have no business trying to figure out what makes them happy. What do they know? What do they understand? Why are they in this energy? You have no business to know that. All right? Worry about so badly why you want to be copy-paste. Worry about so badly why you want to control, why you want to manipulate, why you want to understand someone else's business. Right? It's a secret because it's not your business, right? If you were allowed this information, you wouldn't have to try so hard to figure this out. It would just be given to you on a silver platter, right? Just like happiness is given to this collective as a silver platter, as it seems, right? As it seems. So it's kind of like this person's like, how are they getting happiness on a silver platter? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. If you had happiness, you wouldn't be worried about it. If you were given access to this knowledge, you wouldn't be so stressed out about it, right? This is not for you to know, and there's a reason why. All right? Because you just want to control and manipulate and I'm getting like beehive mindset, like a cult mindset. Like we all think the same, we all do the same, we all are the same, or everybody else is, and that I can understand, that I can control, that I can manipulate. That is easy for me to. I know who's who. I know what's what. I know this. I know that. Right? It's easy for this King of Pentacles. Because when they understand, when they know, for some reason, it's like it doesn't threaten their reputation, their finances, the things that they have, their foundation. It just doesn't threaten it because they can control it. They can manipulate it. But because they can't do that to you, they're like, oh, enemy alert. And that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. Right? That's exhausting. Listen, one thing I know about King of Pentacles energy is that earth signs, people think that fire signs are exhausting because they're always like in motion and moving, always doing something, right? Or air signs are exhausting because they're always talking, right? Or water signs are exhausting because of all the emotions and this and that, right? Earth signs could be exhausting too. They can, with their need to have and understand and possess and I want. That's exhausting too because, jeez, it's just, and they can be stubborn and like just so stuck to the ground because it's safe. Okay? There's something about you, it doesn't make this person feel safe, and they need to figure out why that is. You're not the problem. They need to figure out why they're being so triggered, right? It's because they can't control it. So they need to figure out why they need to control, why they want to control, why they have to control. Because that's not your problem. You're just being happy. I think I'm going to get 2 more tarot, and I'll get 1 more, and then I'll close the reading. I think this is one of my funniest readings. Man. Judgment on the fence. Listen. Okay, judgment on the fence. This person, like I said, their health is going to be affected in more than one ways, right? As their health becomes affected, they're going to be able to lose the ability to make judgments of sound mind, all right? And which is going to lead them to be doing things that they normally wouldn't be doing, crossing lines they normally wouldn't be crossing, having conversations they normally wouldn't be having conversations about, being involved in alliances and groups and collaborations that they normally wouldn't be involved in, all because they're not right in the mind and staying in the membrane, right? Because they're so focused on your business, and it's gonna backfire on them. Towards the end of the movie series of Harry Potter, right? Deathly Hallows Part 2, he started feeling that his Horcruxes were like really being destroyed. And he started rushing. He started doing things, right? He started like, we gotta go. That's this energy. That's how they're feeling, but they're bringing it upon themselves. They're gonna end up making bad choices because they're not thinking clearly. I'm also getting, Magician came out again. I'm also getting Libra energy. They're like, there's some sort of imbalance going on within them already. But this added on, right? This added on to it, it's just gonna, they're gonna be making decisions and choices that people are gonna be like, that doesn't make sense. Why would you? All right. And it's just gonna get worse from them. They're just gonna end up making worse choices, worse decisions, bad choices, bad decisions. It's just gonna get worse and worse and worse and worse for them. We got the 4 of Cups upright, and then the Magician behind that. Yeah, I feel like you're holding on to something. I don't know if this is information, magic. This person could also feel like you're holding on to some sort of magic. They want to know where your magic is coming from, how you are doing your magic, how you achieve your magic, how you got your magic. They feel like that's another reason why they're kind of going crazy, because they can't figure that out. Right? They feel like you're holding vital information about how to do whatever it is that you're doing, how to live however you're living, how to operate however you're operating, how to be in this energy to basically manifest however, whatever it is that you want to manifest, to create whatever it is that you want to create. They feel like you're keeping that information a secret, right? And you may very well be doing that, but at the same time, that's not their business. That's not their business. How you manifest is how you manifest. If you want to manifest so bad, you go figure it out. You go manifest. You're the King of Pentacles. This person could already have more than you, and they're worried about how you're getting what you're getting. Why are you worried about that? Don't worry about that. That's my business, right? Don't worry about how the collective is getting what they're getting. How did you get hope? How did you get this? How did you get that? How did you get magic? How are you manifesting? How are you doing this? Don't worry about it. And they're mad because you're holding on to some sort of information. You're keeping your business intact. You're keeping your information to yourself. And you have every right to do so. In the eyes of God, yes, absolutely. And God is encouraging your business to be protected. Your information to be your information, right? And this is God's doing. God is all over this. God is making sure. The first card that came out was the Seven of Wands. All right? God is defending and protecting at the front of everything you are. So this person, they feel like they're going against you. They're trying to cross your boundaries. No. They're going against the Most High God. They're going to cross God's boundaries. The line in the sand that God crossed for you, the collective's on this side and you are on that side. That's the line that the Most High God drew. You didn't draw that. God did. And they feel like because of how they're not of sound mind right now, and they're going to be making choices, right? Crossing lines that they normally wouldn't be crossing. I said that. They're going to be trying to cross the line in the sand that God drew for you. And it's not going to end well for them. Right? Anyways, this is a reading. Bye.